Every day is a good day. Remember that, my people. If you wake up in the morning, just thank the Lord, thank God that you have another day to be out there to do some great work for your people, for your family, for yourselves. So share shin sotanesani ibashin Tohajiilee da shachero Tohajiilee da shanala aro shanala President Russell Begaye-Nez yakeni gitnadichi. So she kodoi bahen sun di kwa faso legia di it's bahaya no chigini yaho bahaja. You know, we put this event on for health and wellness, to take care of yourself. Many of us grew up with that message in the morning. Take care of yourself. No, that's just not eating good stuff. That's just not exercising, but it's a holistic way of life. Praying too. That's why we have in this the name. You gotta pray. You gotta run. You gotta eat healthy as well. There's a balance in that. I want to introduce my wife, Ophelia. Ophelia. Christopher and Alex. Christopher, hey, Christopher. So, they take care of me, and you know, many of you know the story of my life too. Just quickly, I was 300 pounds at one point, and just like Yvonne was saying, you know, telling people to take care of yourself. It's okay, not kidding, dan dengi bicara hamas. Aku kujun stilo do best ya. Kun stilo ne kan is not thing as put out 300 pounds of unshlo and then out of it and have change yes. You know, I used to tell the young people, take care of yourself, eat right, exercise, and then you're 300 pounds. Nobody's gonna listen to you, right? And so one day I was having this great presentation to a bunch of young people. And this young man stood up in front of me. And you know what he said? He goes, Mr. Nez, you tell us to take care of ourselves. You tell us to exercise, eat right. But look at you, every year we're seeing you, you're getting bigger and bigger. And you know, it's always the young people who dish it back to you, right? Moms and dads, you know what I mean? I was telling kids to exercise and eat right, but I wasn't even doing it. Until one day, that young man, I said, you know what, I gotta take control of my life, my health. And so I started running. No, wait. I started walking. 300 pounds walking. And I got a treadmill. Because you don't want to see no 300-pound council delegate sweating on the side of the road, right? So I had to do it indoors. But I started walking. I challenged myself. So young people, those of you that are listening, and adults, you know, you can do it. You can do it. I'm no special than any of you all out there. I used to blame people and say, hey, it's because I messed up. Because of all this stuff that happened to me. But later in life, I realized it's up to me to make a difference. That's what it means. It's up to you, nobody else, my people. And I'm here to encourage you, to inspire you. We're here to have this event to celebrate life and to be with one another today. And to rekindle some of our family relations. Some of you from here probably haven't seen each other since the last chapter meeting. And this is a great opportunity to be with one another. No excuse. And so that's what I'm saying today. Whatever we're going through, some hardships in life, don't give up. Don't give up. And most importantly, don't give up on life. because life is special, young people. My people out there, you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. And when I lost 100 pounds by walking, I challenged myself. I said when I walked a mile, I said I'm going to run a mile without stopping. I ran a mile without stopping. I said I'm going to run a 5K without stopping. Check that off. 10K. Check that off. Half marathon. Check that off. My first ever full marathon, 26.2 miles, was in Shiprock. And I ran that last week too again. And guess what? There are crazy people, there are awesome people who run more than 26.2 miles. Which I found out later on. And I was like, what's the next distance? 50 kilometer, 31 miles. Check that off. 50 miles. Did you know people run 50 miles in a day? Back then, our relatives ran long distance. And just past, 2 months ago. And this is not to brag, my people, not to brag or to boast, but to encourage you and hopefully inspire you. Because I'm challenging you to get out and be active. So if I'm challenging you, I got to challenge myself. So I challenged myself to my first 100-kilometer run at 62 miles. And 2 weeks ago, or 2 months ago, I ran my first 100-kilometer race down in Black Canyon. And so that's a challenge for myself, because that's for me. I want to challenge myself. There's also, you got to continue to challenge yourself. There's people that run 100-milers and over 100-milers. And one of these days, I want to toe the line of 100-milers.
It's taken me a few months, but I'm finally on Navajo land doing an event. Vice President Nez and I crossed the Grand Canyon, as he mentioned, and he was like, we got to get you out to a Navajo event. And so it's a real honor. I know a lot of people have been thanking me for coming, but thank you for having me. It's really things like this that get us motivated to do something that we didn't think was possible. And I know a lot of you are like, oh, what did Scott, it's talking, he's a runner, I hate running. Well, I used to hate running and I used to hate vegetables. And now I'm the guy who runs ultramarathons and I do that only on plants. So it takes events like this to come together as a community, to try new things, to get inspired. And as Vice President Nez said, you need more than just yourself to get out there. And it was people who inspired me to go a little bit further, to think that I could run a 50-mile race when I had only run a marathon. And prior to that, I'd only run 10 miles, 12 miles. So it starts somewhere, and I'm really happy to be here. It's a pleasure. As Caroline was saying, I've always looked to Indigenous people and those that have come before me. I've always been inspired. And the Navajo have great traditions and deep lines of runners. A lot of you may not know this, but that is continuing. In fact, we have a couple on the stage here. We have three-time state champ, correct? I don't know if that was mentioned in native tongue, but we also have state champ as well. High school runner as well. And so there's a lot of tradition here, and me being from Minnesota, hearing about those traditions in the Navajo, amongst various indigenous cultures, very strong tradition in running. And so I always looked up to it, and that's why I traveled to the Copper Canyon. Those of you who've read Born to Run, it's because I was interested in learning from those cultures. And that's continuing today. In fact, Jaden is somewhere. I met a young man who's 14. There he is. Put your hand up. Jaden is competing in this year's Indigenous Games, actually, in the 800 and maybe the mile. So I know there's young people who, like Jaden, are continuing that tradition. And so you don't have to win races, you don't have to go to the Indigenous Games, but you have to start somewhere. And I think that starts here at events like this. So I'm really looking forward to running the 5K tonight. I'm not going to run fast. I'm going to run with as many people as I can tonight and have fun. That's what this event is about, to get everybody out moving. So thank you again, and it's a pleasure to be here.
ultra runner Scott Jurek, and we had a great run yesterday at Tohajiilee. And what did you think about the event, Scott?
Oh, it's great to be here in New Mexico and in Navajo land. I think one of my favorite places to run. You can just feel the energy out here and just the tradition and the culture, and having that community event where we were sharing with one another, getting a run in, people running, walking, all types, all ages, coming together and just celebrating life, fitness, and health, and eating well. And today we're going to be at the Peapod Conference speaking on the importance of nutrition and how that plays a role in overall health and well-being. And for me, it's two of my favorite things, running and eating. So, and then being in the mountains out here, you just can't complain. It's amazing. Great to be alive and running well.
All right, Scott. And those of you that are watching, we're here. This is your Vice President, Jonathan Nez, doing the Sandia Trail this morning, right before the Peapod Conference. Great trail system out here. So if you're ever up in the Albuquerque area, you see that big mountain in the back. There are also some great trails here. So if you ever get a chance, come out with your family and do a mile or two, or even just hike. Just get out here and breathe the good air here in the state of New Mexico. But we want to invite you to come out here, and we want to also say, behalf of President Russell Begaye and myself, Jonathan Nez, we thank you, Scott, for being here and joining us on the Navajo Nation. I think Scott will be out in Navajo in the future again.
Oh, so. Yeah, definitely. I want to come out and check out some areas. There's so many beautiful places to run, and just connect with the people and learn from their traditions. I always learn when I get out and speak to people and just experiencing their land and the beauty. So hopefully come down to Window Rock, Four Corners area, Monument Valley, and just experience the wonderful land that the Navajo have and their traditions.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Those of you that are watching, we'll see you on the trail. This is NNVP on the move.